Thank you สวัสดีปีใหม่ครับ Please give yourself a sense of joy and happiness because this is a new year. I see some of you look very miserable. But don't worry, you are safe in this meditation hall. Nobody judge you or blame you about anything. Yeah. Is the translation okay now? Namo Sakyamunaya Buddhaya. Dear respected teacher, dear everyone, we're in the Thai New Year retreat, and today is the fourth day of the retreat. We have the section of question and answer. So I can see that among you, the majority is very new faces. And maybe this is the first time you've come to practice with Plum Village. And I believe that there is a lot of questions, a lot of things that you want to know deeper, understand deeper. And that's why we receive a lot of questions in the last few days. And today is the time that we can dedicate to that question and answer. And in our tradition, we know that the time like this is very precious. And that's why we're not spending time on the question, intellectual question, about information question. But we spend more time from the question is come from your own life experience with family, with parenting, with the working, with everything that really that you experience daily. And is there any obstacle? Is there anything that you encounter difficulty or you're not sure? And you may wondering, will the practice of mindfulness, mindful breathing, mindful walking can help me with this situation? Or maybe you don't have any difficulty. You feel happy right now. But is there any way that make our life, our happiness is more, can last longer, or it can enhance our experience with life? Those are the topics that you can think of and contemplate about yourself, and you can make the question. And when you want to make question, you come up here to sit on the chair like this brave young boy. Yeah, sit like him, very beautiful. And we not yet make the question yet, but let's listen to one sound of the bell. So let our emotion, our mental formation sinking down and settle. And that after breathing in and out 3 times, you can make the questions. And you can make the question with your own language. So it's easier for you to express what you want to express. And today, very lucky, we have the sister Đoan Nghiem. Is one of our eldest sister in Plum Village. If you have any toughest question, ask her. And the easiest question, ask me. Okay? Okay, so we should start.
For those who use the headphone, when you come up for the question, you can bring your earphone with you for the translation. Okay. Thank you.
วัสดีครับ I have a question to ask, and that is, when I am angry and when I'm breathing in and breathing out, is that enough for me, or is there something else to do?
She said it's easy question. I don't feel it easy at all. Thank you for your question. It's a very realistic question because not only you, but all of us here get angry and very angry sometimes. And angry is something is not pleasant to feel, right? Yeah, the heat is building up and it's just waiting to explode. Yeah. And for sure, we deep down in our heart, we don't want to be angry or shouting at anyone with angry, right? But we must know that anger is not something just suddenly happen, right? It's built up through time. So when you see something is not happen in the way you want, you may feel angry. Or somebody, like mom said or dad said something that seems like they don't understand you. You feel angry. And that is come from what you already expect them to behave, to do. Like you want them to say sweetly to you, but they do differently. So you get angry. So angry is come from that you have an expectation. You have an imagine of what should be, and it not happen like that, and you get angry. So in order to cool down the anger, it's also not a thing that like this. It takes time. Because anger build up with time. So if you want to cool down, you need time too. So breathing in and out when you know you're angry is good enough, good already. But it's just the first step. You can, if your mom scouting at you, scolding you, and you feel anger, you can say, join your palm, and you say, dear mom, I have a strong emotion now. I feel anger now. May I have some little time for myself before we can continue our talk? So maybe you can go to another room or another place. And if your mom and dad's in this retreat, I think they will respect that because they all learn to practice mindful breathing like you, right? So we can come to talk later when you have time to listen to the bell or even some music that you like that make you feel calm. You can just turn on the music and listen to it with your mindful breathing. You can lie down on the floor, feel the coolness of the floor, and listen to the music and follow your breathing. And after 3 minutes, 5 minutes, you may see that, oh, my anger, the temperature in my body is going down and down. And one important thing is at that time when we get angry, don't stay with the head. Don't stay with the thinking in the head. Try to be aware of your food. So it's helped a lot. And it's not just emotion, but it also is the body problem too. So, or you may like to use your bare feet. Your bare feet, walk on the grass or the yard in front of your house. Walk bare feet. It's increase your feeling down there under your feet. So it will redirect the attention about the anger to the feeling of touching the ground. And I found that is helpful for me and hope it's helpful for you too. Thank you.
want to ask something for him, right? You have to know why you have to breathe, why you get angry. If you know why, then you can do it. Okay? Because at the time you get angry, you feel burning, hot inside. You feel violated. You want to do something bad. So, because you don't want to do those things, you don't want to be burned by your anger, you don't want to be violent because of the anger. That's why you change your mind to think of something else. That's why you need to take in your in-breath and out-breath. So you replace the object of your mind. You don't focus on your anger. That's why you come back to your breathing. So you have to learn to breathe. If you can breathe deeper, then it's easier to transform your anger. Because when people get angry, they breathe very short, like that, like it gaps. So the longer you can take your breath deeper, then you are able to handle your anger. See? So you have to find a way to learn how to breathe deeply and long. Okay, that's why we usually breathe so the air can go down to our abdomen. Okay, very long way, go down here, and then come back and come out. And when you can manage to do that, then you are able to handle your anger. Okay, good luck.
Hi, I want to know how do you sleep faster? Like, how do you sleep faster?
It means that you get trouble with you. It feel hard to go to sleep, right? Is it?
And is like what type of flower is like vegetarian? Flower like bang.
Could you bring your microphone close to your mouth so I can hear very clear? I'm a little bit old, so hearing is trouble. Để gần cái miệng của nó cho nó.
Dạ, câu hỏi của bé là ăn bột gì là bột đồ ăn chay ạ? Bột gì dùng để nấu chay? Dùng bột gì để nấu? Dạ, đúng rồi. Dùng nấu chay lên.
You like to ask in Thai so our friends can understand clearer your question in Thai.
แป้งชนิดไหนที่เป็น vegetarian นะคะ
Nó nói gì?
bột dùng để nấu chay.
Bột gì là bột
Để dùng để nấu chay.
Okay. For your first question about difficult to get sleep, you don't have to force yourself to sleep, to be fast asleep. Because sometimes people get sleep, but in their dream they have some kind of like nightmare or other things. So even they sleep, but they don't get full energy after that kind of sleep. So the main point is, if we cannot sleep, how can we manage to be peace, still in peace, and still get resting? That's, you should know the technique of being learning how to relax, even you are not able to sleep. Because some people, they try to force themselves to sleep, so they buy some kind of the medicine, sleep pill or something like that. That is no good. For me, when I'm a little bit older now, I have some trouble, difficult to sleep. In that case, I just lying down on my bed and practice total relaxation. Because we need sleep in order to relax our body and mind, right? So even we are not able to sleep, we can also learn how to relax while we are awake. And that's the technique you have to learn. Maybe we can turn on some kind of music, gentle music, soft music, so we can lie down there and relax. And even you cannot sleep, but your body is still in full energy. So don't try to force yourself to do anything that you are not able to manage to do it, okay? Because the more you force yourself to do it, the more pressure you put on your body and your mind. Understand? So when it comes, it will come. Okay? And your question, second question about what kind of flour we can use to cook a vegetarian. Huh? Any kind of flour, because it's not meat, then it's become vegetarian. Any kind of flour, okay? If you don't use meat, if you don't use fish, if you don't use any kind of animal fat, then you can use it for cooking vegetarian. Okay? Are you a cooker? Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now it's time for the elder. So please, if you have any question, you can come up here and sit on that chair. And you can, other can also come here and queue in line. So, Athena, oh, that's children. Okay, sorry. Now is the time for teen.
Dear friends, we have received a number of questions in the personal consultation form. But now we leave the majority for the people who come up here for the question. And this question, maybe our sister will answer you for tomorrow, in tomorrow Dharma talk, okay? So you don't have to worry about, you wrote a lot of questions and no one answer it. The question maybe our sister will cover from in tomorrow Dharma talk. Okay. Okay. Now it's turn for the teens.
Test, 1, 2, 3. Yes, it is such an honor for me to have the opportunity to ask you a question today. So at school, I have a class, like I'm currently taking a class at school called Global Issues. And one of the issues that has been covered recently in the class is about gender fluidity and gender equality. So I would like to know, what does Buddhism say about this issue in particular? Thank you.
Feel this is a hard question. Okay, I answer first, and my sister can input more. So actually, nowadays in the modern world, the gap between the gender is very small, a lot smaller than before. And what thing men can do now, women also can do, even do better. To be honest, I think the gender problem it just happen when you are in the restroom or in your bedroom. That's all. And when you're out there in the society now, you get the same respect. But now, of course, there's some place in the world that the awareness of the capacity of woman is not enough. Woman is capable of so many things that beyond the logical mind of man. The man, we are more have the tendency on the side of logic, and something which is not logic we cannot accept. But women on another side of the world, that they can understand the thing which is not logic, and they can happily live with the thing which is not logic. So both are beautiful. Both are beautiful. We don't have to against each other on this. But it's when there's the problem of gender equalities come up, it's not about the gender. It's about that you are not feel comfortable in your skin. You're not happy with yourself. That's why we're searching, look outward to searching for the acceptance. That you may think that people accept you and you may feel a little bit better. But to be, if we look little bit deeper, we see that you yourself in your own room, you have your own qualities. You don't need anybody to accept you or acknowledge you in order for you to have those qualities. So why when you go out in the society, you need someone to accept you so that you feel that you're good enough. That is the point. The point that we don't know how to live happily with our own life, our own existence. So that's why we're searching outside, looking for the acceptance from somebody. And at the age of teenager, you're also very beautiful and also have a lot of quality in you. But just because of some hormone, one day in the school, you see a boy is so charming, and you want that acceptance from the boy or from somebody else also. And that person turned to be the one who said, able to tell you, you are good or bad. But do we need to do that? You have your own value. If you're happy with yourself, if somebody come, you just be more happy. When you are stay with yourself alone, don't be miserable and waiting like for a prince to come and to solve all your problem and make your life happy. Don't wait until that moment. You can make your life happy even you are alone. So if somebody come, mom, dad, friend come, you just be more happy. So if you can do that, you know how to make your life joyful and happy. Gender equality no longer a problem, no longer a question. Yeah. And people who feel a lot of sadness, a lot of anger or unsatisfied in him or her is the one who have the most tendency to be violent. Yeah. Thank you. Biết sư mẹ thêm, you would like to add in something?
If I ask like a follow-up question, is that okay? No, because like sometimes in the status quo, like teenagers become very confused and perplexed about like the concepts that they teach at school and whether or not it contradicts with their own personal religion. So I would like to ask about like, what does Buddhism say about how gender is open to more than just two? Like, is gender limited to two, or like, is it open and does it lay on a spectrum? What are your thoughts on this? I'm sorry if this is like controversial, and I hope you don't mind if I bring like taboo topics to the table today. Pardon me.
In Buddhism, the Buddha teaching on non-self. When we're talking about non-self, it means no gender. When the Buddha talking about non-self, means the Buddha want to talk about all the condition. When it's sufficient, then it's manifest. Not because of the gender that make things manifest. Okay? So, according to that teaching, I feel like everyone equal. Everyone do their best to be best, whatever they feel like they have more confidence on themselves. We don't base on gender in order to see the valuable of that person. And also in the teaching of the Buddha, he talking about the interbeing. It means we are interact with each other. Even you are very good in many topics, but somehow you need someone else to be with you in order to make it manifest. You alone cannot manage to do it. So in the teaching of the Buddha, we feel like, according to my understanding, we're not distinct about women and men or other genders. We feel okay with any gender. So when we look at someone, we don't look at their gender. We look at their ability, their wholeheartedness, their warmness. We don't look at the gender. We look at something else. So for me, I feel okay to be as a woman. But sure, the ability for men and women sometimes is different. Then we can accept that kind of difference. But it doesn't mean that our valuable is lower than other genders. Okay.
For your response, and I'm definitely sure that like teenagers will benefit from your response because sometimes we kind of like become very confused. So yeah, it really helps to bring it to the table today. Thank you so much.
Không biết nhờ quý thầy ban âm thanh có thể xoay một cái loa hướng lên trên này được không? Bởi vì trên này rất khó nghe. I just share with a brother in the sound team to have turn one speaker this way. Any other teen want to ask question? I heard that you have 2 questions from the teens. Okay, so if teen have no more questions, so it's time for the others. If you want. Yes, you can come. And if your teen have no more question, you can leave the hall, and you have your personal, your own schedule now. Yeah. You can stand up and bow to the Buddha, and bow to everyone around, and then you leave.
Dear brothers and sisters, I would like to ask a question or advice about self-loathing and self-confidence. And for me, many times when I give in such a great opportunity or a compliment, I always doubt, like, am I worthy it? Am I really that good? And I often find that I always don't feel I deserve a good things, and I feel like self-love is very hard to do, and it's like I always feel I want to watering the flower seed of compassion. It's easier when giving compassion to others, but not for myself.
I think you should learn how to ask yourself a question like, have I done my best? Instead of other kind of question. We should ask the question in such a way that we don't put more pressure on us. For me, I'm not good in many things, I think. But I always said, have I done my best? And then I just do my best. And when I have done my best, I don't feel shame. I don't feel miserable because of compared to with other person or other people that compared to them, you will have to put a lot of strength and pressure on your shoulder. And because of our ability is not enough to reach that level. I always ask myself, when I have interact with other people, I will ask myself, am I able to be in the presence for that person? Do I offer my presence to that person? And if my answer is yes, then that's good enough. And if someone asks me to do something that I feel like I'm not able to manage to do that, but at the same time I don't want to make other person feel disappointed, then I will tell them, I will think about it. I don't say yes, I will help you, but I said, let me think about it. If I manage to do it, I will do it. But I don't say yes right away, because I know my limit. So you only know your limit, that's enough. Some people, they don't know their limit. And that's a problem. And you can ask yourself, do you have enough lovable heart to offer to other people? Do you have enough compassionate to other people, to yourself? You just ask yourself about that and find the best way to offer your love and your understanding to other person. Never compare yourself to other person. Try to learn how to understand yourself, your ability, your understanding about yourself before try to make other people to be happy. You have to make yourself to be happy first. Sometimes I ask some sister about something to do for me, and she smiled to me and she said, sorry, Shime, I cannot do it. And because of her smile, I cannot blame her anything. So sometimes we just show people that we really want to be with community. We want to be with other people. We want to be cared. We want to be loved. We want to be offer something. Just make yourself to be fresh in order to offer that freshness. And the rest will follow later. Okay? Even you say no, but you're smiling and you relax, people can understand. Instead of you try your heart too much and you feel like, oh, it's like too much on yourself, and even you say, yes, I will do it for you, but you don't look happy, then it's not good neither in the communication between you and someone else. So for me, we have to learn how to love ourselves first. And if we know how to love ourselves, how to take care of ourselves, then you know what to do to other people. And you know what people really want from you. Living in the community, I learned a lot from how to improve myself, to be my best, to offer to my sister, my community. And that is the calmness, the freshness, and the freedom within yourself. So you have to learn that way. Okay. Okay.
It's an honor to be here. Have two questions, if allow me ask you two different questions. Yeah. First one is about depression. So I do have a lot of people around me suffering from severe depression these days. I want to ask you what could be the best practice to be supportive for those who are suffering from depression. I found it's way harder when they're close people to me. Being there for them, being available for them whenever they need me doesn't seem to be enough sometimes. And also back in my mind, no matter what happened, whatever they do with their life is out of my control. It's their decision, their responsibility. But still, I think I want to ask your advice on it.
Yes, I think that depression is a very serious problem nowadays in our society. And to heal and to cure the depression is not easy at all. It takes a lot of time and attention and effort to cure someone in depression. But if we try to cure, it takes a long time. But if we go on the way back to the root of where the depression comes from, we may have more energy and more courage to help. So let's see like this. The depression usually comes from some trauma. Something happened to a person in their life that creates so powerful emotion, which is this body cannot bear, or this mind cannot bear, and it's shut down, and it creates a kind of depression. But how that problem can arise is because most of the case is that we are struggle with our identity. A person struggle with his or her own identity in this life. So when somebody or someone do or say something that violate that illusion of identity that we build up for ourselves, we suffer. All kind of suffer, all kind of anger come from that point. That we try to build our identity. When we look at the children, their identity, their notion of their own identity, very little. That's why they can live very joyfully and happily a whole day. Sometimes they shouting and angry, but it's happened very short time. And in this retreat, I encountered a time that a Vietnamese boy and a Thai boys hang out with each other the whole day. They don't join the schedule. They run and they play with each other, and they don't understand the language of each other at all. Because their ego very small. They don't care, mind that person said, what that person said is logic or not, or that person respect me or not. They don't care. They just care that somebody play with me. But when we grow up, because first of all, at a teenager age, when the hormone start to affect the body, and suddenly somebody in the crowd becomes so shiny and like they are polished with just become very shiny and so impressed to us. So that's why we want to look different, to be more attractive to that person. And we try to make ourselves a little bit cool. It means in the term of we look different than other dudes around. I'm different from this guy. I'm special. So that the moment that our ego build up so quick, but we're not aware of it. And then when we go to work, when we study, our education system is always force us to create our own identity. It's good in some aspect, but if you use that way of perceiving to all the aspects of life, you will suffer deeply. And we can see that in the modern society, people suffer so deeply. Not because of the war, not because of the pollution, not because of the anything, the natural things, but just because of our identity. We set the barrier surrounding us, and we said, this is me. Somebody violates this, invades this area, you not respect me. If you have power in your hand, you will fight back. You get angry. If you don't have power, you feel depressed. So anger and depression is the same result, side effect of that reaction come from your identity. So in Buddhism, you look like the monk and the nun sit in the temple the whole day. Seems like they don't do anything. But we try to do the most fundamental thing, solve the most fundamental problem of humanity is our identity. So after a while, the emotion, firstly, it's just the emotion when somebody invades your identity. But after the emotion running for a while, it starts to manifest the problem in the body too. And is that memory turned to be the muscle memory. And it's harder to remove that. Therefore, so many people, in this question, I also received that, I know I need to be happy and like this, but why I found so difficult? Because you let yourself be suffer for so long time, and it built in the body. So it takes both the physical exercise, the emotional exercise, and perception exercise in order to cure a person in deep depression. But if we don't see that whole picture, and we just try to use only medicine, or only exercise, or only talking, it's not enough. Need all of this and help to bring that person to the root where they feel, where the trauma come from, and help to that person to see beyond his or her boundary. Him or her is much more than it's just this body, much more than it's just the recognition from somebody, much more than just the study qualification or work productivity. Yeah, to my limited understanding, I think that is the only way to solve, to help people out from depression, uproot the depression. Otherwise, it's just a kind of painkiller. Most of the method nowadays is a painkiller. It's not uproot the depression. Yeah. So be aware of our identity. Do we really need that to be happy, to live a life meaningful? You can ask yourself this question. Do we really need that identity that much? Thank you.
In my community, we also have, sometimes we have some sister got depression. And the way I come and help, I just be there for her. Because I realize that people with depression have no one around. They are not able to be with anyone. So I want to be that one, to be with them. So if you really want to help someone with depression, you need a lot of time. You don't need anything, you need time. If you are able to be with her and just be there, you don't need to talk because she's not ready to talk and to listen. So you just show your care, like being with her. Ask her, you want something? Make tea, offer cookies. Actually better. And when she's ready to talk, you just listen. Don't say about right and wrong of her opinion or thinking. Just let it come out. And when she feels like she has someone listen to her, understand her need, she will come out, her depression. Most people, they feel depressed because they have a lot of things in their mind and in their heart, but no one around can understand it. And that's why they keep it within themselves. And time accumulate, and that's why they become depression. And the only thing we can manage to do and to help is offer them time to be with them, listen to them, and care whatever they need. That's it. And if you manage to do that, you can help that person. Okay? No right and wrong.
Sure. Thank you. Second question is not that serious. So it might be stated on your website. Maybe I didn't do enough research about Plum Village. But I see you are investing a lot in youth engagement, youth connections and network globally. So what do you envision as an organization for the next 5 or 10 years? Do you have any specific goals with that?
I have no goal. I already said from beginning, I don't want to put any pressure on my shoulder. The only thing I am thinking of is how to be happy, how to be free, how to be relaxed, how to be enjoy life. And if that's what you say goal, is that my goal? And I want to do it right now at this moment. So I don't have to wait for 5 years or 10 years. And that is my answer. I don't know about him.
Yeah, I totally agree with Sister Đoan Nghiem that we have no goals in our life. But we do create a sanghas. It's a community of practice. And the one like you come to Plum Village and practice, and you see that always helped me a lot. And you want to continue the practice at home. And so those friends gather together. For the young adult, we call the wake-up movement. They gather once a week or once a month to practice together, or they can do something that help the society in their capacity to suffer less and have more joy and happiness. And for the other people, if you feel that I want to continue, and the friend that came to this retreat together with me also want to continue the practice, and we can keep in contact and form a group like this we call Sangha to support each other on the practice, to remind each other. So that is the way we share the teaching and share the practice. But of course, there's no goal. Yeah, it's a process.
Appreciate you.
แสดงพูดภาษาไทยนะคะ กราบนมัสการพระพุทธเจ้าหลวงปู่หลวงแม่หลวงพี่แล้วก็ธรรมสวัสดีสังฆะคำถามของป้าแดงมันไม่ทราบมันยากหรือเปล่าค่ะเพราะว่าเมื่อกี้มีเด็กเขาถามว่าเขานอนยากเนาะนอนหลับยากมีวิธีแก้อย่างไรอาจจะเป็นด้วยวัยของเราต่างกันมั้งป้าแดงมีปัญหาคือนอนไม่ตื่น คือมันตื่นยากบางทีตอนเขาถึงเวลาต้องตื่นเนาะเรายังอยากหลับต่อค่ะแล้วมันก็ต้องเหมือนเราต้องฝืนตื่นขึ้นมาแล้วเมื่อวานนี้มีกราบสัมผัสพื้นดินเนาะ3 ครั้งเนี่ยป้าแดงกราบไปแล้วครั้งที่1ก็ลุกขึ้นมายืนครั้งที่2ลุกขึ้นมายืนตามเขาอะครั้งที่3เขาลุกกันแล้วป้าแดงไม่ลุก เพราะว่าพอดีเพื่อนที่นั่งที่ข้างหลังอะเขาสะกิดป้าแดงเขาคิดว่าป้าแดงเป็นลมหรือเปล่าไม่ใช่อะไรหรอกป้าแดงหลับ เพราะว่าเวลากราบไปแล้วก็หลวงพี่จะพูดอะไรแบบบรรยายนานหน่อยอะพอเขาพูดนานป้าแดงหลับเลยแล้วเวลาเข้ามาอบรมภาวนาเลยเนี่ยทุกช่วงเวลาป้าแดงจะง่วงคือมันจะง่วงแบบระนึกในใจเมื่อไหร่จะจบสักทีอะเราจะได้พักออกไปพักผ่อนหรือบางทีก็ไปนอนหรือว่าได้คุยได้อะไรเงี้ยเราก็จะหายง่วงปัญหาของป้าแดงก็คือทำยังไงอะที่จะได้ไม่ง่วงเวลาเข้ารับการอบรมเนี่ยทุกวันเลยทุกคอร์สเลย มีอยู่ช่วงเดียวอะช่วงพักผ่อนคลายอะช่วงหลับอันนั้นอะดี แม้มันจะร้อนก็หลับได้ค่ะ นี่แหละค่ะปัญหาคือนอนไม่ตื่น
They said she get difficulty to go to sleep, not. So okay, so I'm more oversleep. Can you hear is the translation okay for you?
ว่าไง
แปลได้ไหม
แปลว่าไงคะหนูแปล
Yeah. So actually, the one who sleep more. Go back to the answer from Sister Đoan Nghiem. Sister Đoan Nghiem give a very important point that our body and our mind, our brain, needs resting, but not necessarily to be sleep. But among all the activities, sleep seems like that the most resting situation for us. So the one who use the brain a lot will have the tendency to sleep more. That's why you see if somebody in the IT field or working with the machine or use a lot of the brain power, that person need a lot of sleep. So when you see your friend sleep more like that, you can pay attention to his daily life when he awake. Did he have the tendency to think a lot? Or the second thing is if there's something in our body is not right. Something consume a lot of oxygen in the body. So it exhausts the body. You may need to observe clearly, and you may need to go to the doctor. If you feel that you feel sleepy all the time, something happened in your body that consumes so much oxygen. And when in the body just remain more carbon dioxide, you easily feel sleepy. So it sounds very funny, but it may not. It may not that funny if we really look at our body and our mind. So for the mind, we can train our mind to think less, because we can see that not all the problem can solve by thinking. Sometimes we don't have to think, and the problem is solved by itself. So we learn, therefore, when you come here, we teach you to walk mindfully, to breathe mindfully, pay attention to the feeling of the breathing of the body when you're breathing. Pay attention to the step on the ground when you do walking. So when you pay attention to those sensations of the body, the mind just suddenly stop. The brain suddenly reduce the amount of thinking. And if you are sensitive enough, you can feel that energy drop down to the lower part of the body. And that is the good state of resting. You can rest while you walk. You don't have to sleep in order to rest. That's not the only way. You can rest while you walk. You can rest while you breathe. When I sit here and my sister take the question, answer the question, okay, so I don't need to think. I just enjoy my breathing. So I rest right now in this setup. And we can see our heart, why it can walk since the day we born. Since the day we form in our mom abdomen until the last day of our life, it continuously working, because our heart know how to rest. After three phrases of walking, one phrase of rest. 3 phrases walking, 1 phrase of rest. So our heart have the wisdom of dividing the resting time into the smaller and smaller time. So they don't have the whole day to rest. If you feel your heart rest for the whole day, gone. So we can learn that wisdom from our heart. while you're walking from one place to another place, you don't need to think. You know that is the destination. I just enjoy my walk and my breathing. And that's why you allow yourself to rest. And when our body able to rest, it's also able to recharge the energy. But if we keep our mind continuously thinking, our brain consumes a lot of oxygen and then burn a lot of energy. That's why you need a lot of sleep. And if you see that, okay, I'm not thinking a lot, but I don't know how, or I always feel sleepy, something in the body, something with your organs, the lungs, or maybe in the cancer can cause that problem. So now is the time for us to pay attention and take good care of our body. Though as a signal, but we keep ignoring it, at one day it's explode. But every day it gives the signal, is this body is okay or not? It gives us the signal. Yeah, thank you.
May I ask you 2 questions?
ได้ค่ะ
Every time you wake up after a long sleep, you feel okay, good after that sleep?
หลับไม่นานค่ะเพราะตอนช่วงกลางคืนเนี่ยมันจะมีหลับแล้วก็ตื่นแล้วสลับกันพอช่วงที่เขาปลุกเราเราหลับไงช่วงที่เขาปลุกเราหลับ
And my second question is how your family reaction with your sleep?
เราอยู่คนเดียวค่ะ
I think you should go to doctor to see. I think you should go to the doctor to see about your health, because this is the sign of sickness according to Chinese medicine. I think you should go Chinese medicine to see, because according to the Chinese medicine, every organ in our body, they have a time for working. And if you keep want to sleep whole day like that, it means that the inner organ is not good enough. You should go and check. Okay.
ค่ะเดี๋ยวป้าแดงขอถามคนอื่นๆนิดนึงนะคะว่าจะเหมือนป้าแดงบ้างไหมเพราะว่าเวลามาฟังบรรยายนะใครง่วงบ้างถ้าไม่มีแปลว่าป้าแดงแปลกกว่าคนอื่นแต่ถ้ามีคนง่วงเหมือนป้าแดงแสดงว่าป้าแดงก็ไม่แปลกกว่าคนอื่นเห็นไหมถ้าใครคิดว่าง่วงช่วยยกมือหน่อยง่วงแสดงว่าเราเหมือนกันแล้วเราไม่แตกต่างใช่ไหมเพราะนั้นป้าแดงไม่ได้แตกต่างนะไม่ได้แตกต่างเพราะว่ามีหลายคนง่วง
How? No. It depends on the Dharma talk. If
แต่ป้าแดงง่วงอ่ะถ้าออกมามีกิจกรรมนี้หายง่วงแต่ถ้านั่งฟังอยู่ในนี้โอ้โหจะหลับให้ได้เลยอ่ะ
Thank you for your sharing. I think our brother and sister will look at their problem. Because their Dharma talk not give you so much interesting. That's why they fall asleep. And that is one of my problem. Have to be interesting so I can wake up.
อาจจะอยู่ที่กิจกรรมเนาะพอป้าแดงอยู่บ้านเวลาเหงาชวนเพื่อนมาเล่นไพ่ไม่เคยง่วงเลย ทั้งวันเลยไม่ง่วงเลยคิดว่าคงอยู่ที่กิจกรรมอะค่ะค่ะขอบคุณมากค่ะ
Hello. Thank you so much for your wisdom and your example of peace and joy. It's given me so much these days. I really enjoyed the touching the earth ceremony and the explanation with it of everything is one and impermanence. So my question is, contrasting that with a lot of things going on in life, and I realize we take things so seriously, in contrast to what I'm hearing here, and daily life, whether it's work or relationships or love, is wants to be taken very seriously and has a lot of demands and obligations, and sometimes it feels that's in contrast to the impermanence that you know, and I feel like it's so appealing to be a monk and not have to deal with these things. But before I become a monk, maybe there's a way to deal with this balance of how things are all one and impermanent, but also being able to fulfill all these other requirements of life. Sorry, it was very long. I guess maybe let me simplify it in my case. So the romantic love has a lot of attachment that comes with it, and it seems to go against the teaching of impermanence. So, help, please. So, if I'm not ready to become a monk, is there another way to live impermanence and have a relationship?
So your question is, you know about impermanent, but at the same time you want to love, right?
Yeah, and I guess there's a commitment that comes with that, that is, but impermanence seems to not go with the idea of commitment to me.
No, it's not true. Impermanent, when you really understand impermanent, it means you know that the one you love right now is here. So you know how to treasure her presence. Because you know that one day, or just one moment, who knows, she will just disappear. That's impermanent mean. So the longer you know about impermanent, the better you know how to treasure what you love, and you know how to care, and you want to offer your best to the one you want to love. Because you know that everything may change, even your love. And at the same time, because you know that everything is impermanent, you know that your love may one day may no longer loved, may turn out into hatred or whatever. Then you will nourishing your love. Instead of you said, oh, she's my wife, I don't need to care. She's belong to me, and then you ignore. And then that's the reason, one of the reasons that people, they no longer being love each other, because they not nurture their love. So the more you know about impermanent, the more you know how to live your life wholeheartedly, treasure, and learn how to enjoy your life. For example, now we live in this country, there is no war, no earthquake, no fighting and other things. So we treasure our life right now. Yeah, that's what I mean. The more, if you really understand impermanent, you will know how to live your life more meaningful every moment of your life, and learn how to enjoy your life more, and learn how to care for other people that you love.
Yeah, in Buddhism we also talk about love. In Buddhism, in the teaching Buddha also teaches how to love. Because if we see deep enough, we see love is in the nature of our own existence. And romantic love is a small piece of a bigger love. I don't know, say this about the love from God or something, but the reason why romantic love is small, because you set the barrier for this love, right? To only that person that I love, you already set a barrier for your love, and you see that person maybe that body, that mind only. But if we just need to stop for a while and really look at that person, we see that that person is a product of the whole family, of the whole society. So we see that if I want to love this person, I have to understand all the background, all the family members, all the person that helped that person sitting next to me right at this moment. So we open our understanding, open our view in order to love that person. So in Buddhism, it's okay to love, even for the monastic. But we learn to see a person in that big picture, and that person turned to be the doorway for you to understand the whole world. And from one person, you love another person. And you love a woman, you have to love that woman's parents too, and brother and sister and the family and the friends, and that we love more and more. So you no longer get trapped in that romantic love alone, because you set the wall surrounding your relationship. So for sure, the area is very small, and you have to protect it. But what happens if there's no wall around everywhere, everyone is love? Why you need to protect the love? It just become very naturally. And with that understanding, you yourself become love. You don't need anyone to make you feel love. You alone, you become love. So everyone can come next to you. They feel at ease, they feel nourished. But sadly, in the romantic love is that we have troubles, we have problems, we have the vacuum inside. And we look for somebody, we hope that person can fill up that vacuum. And when you cannot fill up that vacuum, they come to argument and separation. So that is not love. That is the hungry. We are hungry for something, but we label it as love. And I think this understanding is the same understanding of God love. Is the same. It's not about should I love or should I not love. The question is how can I open up my boundary about love, so there will be less attachment. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this will be the last question.
Dear Thai, dear Sangha, thank you. So my first experience with this tradition was inspired by when I was younger. I was very engaged directly, socially, environmentally, politically, and I learned of Thich Nhat Hanh's engagement in that way, and his relationship with Dr. Martin Luther King. And I'm inspired again here, looking at this new arrangement outside, by how his life really recognized that it's not just about thoughts and prayers, it's about action and having the courage to engage directly. And I feel that where I come from, the United States, and also where I live now here in Thailand with a lot of different issues, there's a hesitancy, a fear to engage directly. And I understand that fear. And I wonder how, with the tradition of Plum Village and engaged Buddhism, what questions would you suggest? What are you asking yourself before you engage directly with things that are scary? Like right now in America, there's a big problem with violence, shootings in schools, mass shootings very regularly. And I feel called to engage with this. And I want to engage in a mindful, peaceful way, an effective way. But I don't really know how.
So right now you're living in America? Colorado. In America, we have 3 centers. One in Deep Park, one in Blue Cliff, and one in Mississippi. You can engage by joining them, the Sangha there. In America, we have lay Sangha all around, so you can find on the website. And you can start from there first. We are lucky than lay people because we are monastic and we have a center. So people come and they know it. And maybe we didn't do much like lay people, you know. But in order to spread our way of living, in order to have more peace and joy spread around the world, first thing we have to do is for ourselves first. Like our master say, peace in oneself and peace in the world. So first of all, we have to learn how to be peace within ourselves. And then we start to set up a center or a group of friends who can enjoy that kind of living. Most of our Sangha building, they start up with few people. And then they find their own way to spread around. Sometimes they invite our monastic to come and join the Sangha, so support them to spread the practice. And that's the only way we do. So that's what I can share with you. Em muốn nói gì thêm?
Luckily, I've been to USA 2 years ago, so I also understand a little bit about the culture and the situation over there. About engaging to help the society, we usually think of it in terms of doing something. If I do this for the environment, I'm an environment activist. I'm do this for the people in colors. I'm an activist for people in colors. For gender, it's the same. But it's not only about the acting, but it's more about the being. Peace is not just an act, it's a way of being. When we in US, we also receive a lot of complaint that's why the Plum Village don't engage so much in environment protection. And it also irritates a lot of young monastics that they don't see that Plum Village go out and to the society or do something to help any activity outside that seem like they engaging. But I told my younger brother, said that, you know, our first precepts as a monk is not to have a family and have a children. That is really an act of protecting environment, because we all know nowadays all the solution to help the environment we already have in our hand. Technology we have in our hand, but the problem we cannot help effectively because the population raised too quickly, and all the solution cannot match with that growth. So, and if you just search on the internet, what is the number one things that create the greenhouse gas and pollute the planet, is having one more child. Is equal to all the others, solar energy, not using plastic, having less car, not using airplane, all of that accumulate not equal to have one less child. So I tell my brother, actually you did already, but you don't know your value. You don't aware of your own value, what you do in the inactive way, but you already did it. So we engage not only in action, but in the way we live. That is more profound. Because if we act, we do, suppose like you running, you can run 1 hour, 2 hours. The athletic, they can run for 8 hours, but they have to need to take another few days to rest. But if you just, your being, your living is already helping, you can help the whole day, even while you sleep. So if we see in the bigger picture, we have more choice of acting. And our teacher, he very active when he young, but at the age of 60, he know for sure he need to build a monastic sangha that come to practice together 24 hours a day. Because he see that in the last 40 years when he do it as an activist, he cannot change profoundly the perception of people. And he need to train the young people the whole day, he change the way they perceive the world. That is the deepest, that will make a bigger impact to the world. That's why in the beginning, the early age of our teacher, he's an activist. And then when he built up Plum Village, he put all of his efforts to train the monastic and train the lay sangha who practice permanently. Yeah, and that is, I think, is more effective. And this is the wisdom of our teacher, that we always encourage to form the sangha, practice together. Because when we change our way of seeing the world, we change the way we react to the world. And sadly, in US nowadays, is the young people very physically oriented. And all they see is just the physical body. And that's why it comes to so many violence, so many misunderstandings. But if we see our life is beyond just the body, and our connection is beyond just between people and people. If you love the tree, you don't have to shout out loud that I'm protect the environment. You love the tree as yourself. You know how to treat the tree as you're treating yourself. You need to come from love and come from that big picture of understanding rather than just one single act or two single acts. Thank you. Yeah, thank you everyone. We over time already. And we would like to end the section today. Thank you for the presence of Sister Đoan Nghiem.